All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here this afternoon and today, attending today's training on recording a lecture. This session, along with all the other training sessions this week, are being recorded and you'll have the option of viewing them again later. And due to the number of participants which may be jumping in and out of this session, your microphones are muted by default. If you have a question, please feel free to use the chat feature at the bottom of the screen, and I'll compile those questions and pass them along to Laura at the end of the session. I also wanted to start today's session by sharing some information that we're including in all the trainings. If you are brand new to remote or online teaching, we recommend that you visit and explore the resources on the K-State Keep Teaching website at ksu.edu/keep teaching. The preparing and planning page under the remote teaching and learning resources tab has a checklist of steps that'll get you started. And the homepage of the website also includes getting started checklists for faculty as well as students. And I'll provide a link for that site here in a minute. As we rapidly transition our classes using various remote teaching options, we want to encourage you to keep things as simple as possible. And this session is going to focus on practical steps that you can implement right away. If you have any additional questions after the session, please send them to gcid@kstate.edu. This is the email address that's being monitored by the Global Campus Instructional Design Team, and all inquiries will be responded to as quickly as possible. You can also contact the IT Help Desk by phone at 785-532-7722 or via email at helpdesk@ksu.edu. And then lastly, please also check out the K-State Keep Teaching training sessions page to see if there are other trainings that would be helpful as you transition to remote teaching. And that website has all the trainings for the week listed, as well as the Zoom links associated with them. And then once again, due to the number of participants, your mics have been muted. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat and I'll pass those along to Laura. And I will go ahead and drop all the links I previously mentioned into the chat and we'll let Laura get started.
Awesome. Thanks, Reed. Thank you all for being here. We had a few issues with some of the recordings, so they've been delayed, but for the most part, most of the sessions have been recorded and are available now. We have a few more today that will also be put up, and then we have those drop-in sessions on Thursday and Friday if you have follow-up questions. So I definitely encourage you to go back, find sessions that you weren't able to attend, and review those videos. Today we're going to talk about recording a lecture, a little bit more simplified than what you might learn from the MediaSite presentation. MediaSite is an amazing tool, but we were realizing some people needed to take a step back even from that and think about how to get started. So that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to talk about some best practices for doing an online lecture, ways that you can record your lecture, some tool options, and how to upload those videos to Canvas. So I'll walk you through the process in Canvas as well. So to get started, the best practices for lectures in an online environment is making them 10 to 15 minutes and no more. There are lots of studies that are showing that the viewability of videos drops off after 10 to 15 minutes. Students just stop watching. And if you think about your in-person lecture, you're there for 50 minutes, you can start to see those faces go blank, and then you ask a question or you dance a little bit. I mean, we do a lot of different things to bring students' attention back to us. You don't have a lot of opportunities to do that in an online environment. So chunking your lessons into those main ideas is really the best way to help students consume that content. It's a different layout so that you aren't limited to those 50-minute segments and contact with students. You can do your content in smaller chunks and still expect them to watch and consume that content. Think about different styles that you can use to engage your students. Maybe you do a PowerPoint like I'm doing here. This is really just a quick layout. I'm not using a lot of visuals. I'm not doing a lot, but that's the environment we're in right now. In our rapid deployment of content, in our rapid conversion to this remote teaching style, you may need to look at alternatives. So certainly you can do PowerPoint, whatever tool you're comfortable with, but it's also okay to grab your phone and do a quick video and talk students through maybe a problem that was an issue on the homework. You can use your iPad and a whiteboard app to kind of write through a problem, record that, post that. So there are some different options that are available. Just make sure you're being concise and be as visual as possible. Don't put all of your notes out there and just read through them. Think about those salient points, those most important things you want the students to get, and then talk them through it. So let's talk a little bit about how to record. Use any presentation tool that you're comfortable with. We hear a lot right now that Gen Z hates PowerPoint. Well, it's what we're comfortable with, right? I've created this PowerPoint presentation very quickly. I understand how it works, and it's getting the information across. If you're comfortable with PowerPoint with voiceover, that's fine, but please be aware that that is not visible or it's not able to be played in the Canvas environment. So I'm going to jump out of presentation mode right now to show you what to do if you've done a PowerPoint with voiceover and you want to put it into your course. Instead of putting it in as a PowerPoint file, you're going to come to File, and then you're going to go to Export, and then you're going to create a video. It will take your PowerPoint with those voiceovers and advance your PowerPoint in accordance to those voiceover files. So if you've embedded that little voiceover on one slide and then the next slide, it's going to create a video for you. So it is a good option if PowerPoint is what you are the most comfortable with. Certainly, whatever presentation tool you're comfortable with, you can record your desktop just as we are right here and show what you have. So maybe you are using some sort of computer language program. You want to show students as you're working through a math program in SAS or something like that. You can record your desktop and they can see you take those steps through that. As I said before, think about how you could just record on your phone. Do a quick 1 to 2 minute video just checking in with your students saying, hey, I know this is tough. We're going to do the best we can. Let's work together, something like that. Seeing your face, hearing your voice really helps the students feel that you're present in that course content, that you are caring about them, and that you're connecting with them. Okay, tools, Zoom. We've got these trainings today at 2 and 4 o'clock. We had a training on MediaSite at 11 yesterday, and those recordings should be up. And there is also a lot of MediaSite help at this web address here, short videos on specific things within MediaSite that you can do. So Zoom is great for synchronous sessions, but you can also use it as a recording tool. There are other free tools out there as well. Camtasia has a paid license, but it also has a free version. There's a program called Screencast-O-Matic. You can use QuickTime on a Mac. lots of different options out there. So figure out what you are most comfortable with, what's going to work best for your material, and go with that. So in Canvas, I'm going to talk you through all of the different ways that you can upload your content into a Canvas space. You can upload videos directly into modules. You can do it on a page in Canvas, and you can put them in files. This here is the toolbar that you will see at the top of any of your assignments, your files, your your pages, your discussion boards. This is the Canvas toolbar. So I'm going to talk you through these 3 tools that you can see that I highlighted on the screen, and how you can embed or input video content using those tools. So let me jump out to Canvas. Give me a second. I think I actually forgot to pull up the course I wanted to use, so give me just a second to grab that. Okay, so this is Canvas, right? We're all starting to get used to it and get familiar with it. This is a module from our Online Essentials course, and I'm using lots of different tools or lots of different pieces of Canvas in a module. So this symbol here is a page within Canvas. This here is a actual video, so it's linked right there. This is a website link. There are lots of different ways that you can pull that material right into your content. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different things. Okay, so if you're in a module and you want to link a video directly into the module, there are a couple of choices. You can either find a file, so an MP4 video that you've uploaded into your course is one way that you can link directly into the module. So you'd go and you'd search all of your files. I have a bunch here. Don't know if I have an MP4 directly in here, but I would find that file and I would upload it directly into the module. Okay. I also can link from an external URL. So if I have a YouTube link, I could put that YouTube link right here, and that would then connect directly to that link. I'll show you an example by opening up, I think it's actually in my Getting Started module. That is, sorry, find that. No, maybe it is this one. Yes. All right, so this is a video that we took from a website, and it's going to play right here. It's a YouTube video, and then it's going and playing. So that's embedded right within a Canvas module. Now let me talk you through a different way of uploading video content as well. That would be on a page itself. So Canvas pages are basically fancy Word documents embedded right in Canvas that you can easily edit and add and link to things throughout the course. So this is one example here. If I edit this, I'm going to get my toolbar now, right? So I'm going to come into the place where I want my video to be. I'm going to make a space, and then I can do several different things. I can insert or edit media. So if I want to embed a code from YouTube, so let me go out and grab one real quickly. Okay, we've got this Getting Started with OER. This is one that was just recorded today. So I'm going to go to the share location on YouTube. I then see the embed code and the copy code. Either of these would work. To embed the video, I'm going to copy that code, take it over into my module, and post just like that, copy and paste. That way my video is right there on the page. If I don't want to do that and I just want to link that code, I can again come here. Oh, actually, instead of doing that, what I would do is I would take the link here and I would add it there. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to share, grab this code by copying, go back to my page. I'm going to paste that URL right there, insert that link, and now I have both versions of that page. I'm going to save so you can see what it looks like saved. Okay, so now I've got it embedded on the page, and this is just a link. Both of them will play right here on the page. It's just a different way of looking at it. Okay. One more thing that's important about editing or pages, if you have media site content that you've recorded, that is where you must use pages to show your media site content. While it appears like you can just link directly to media site, students can sometimes have difficulty accessing that content if it's not embedded on a page. They'll be blocked if they aren't logged in quite right to Canvas. I don't know if you can see right here up in this upper corner of my window, right here, it actually says sign in. I'm sort of accessing Canvas without being fully signed in. And so if my media site videos aren't linked in properly and a student is in this layout, it may block them from seeing that because the media site content is protected behind our Canvas wall, if you will. So therefore, if you see this My Media Site link here, students do not see that link. What you need to do to access anything that's in your media site folders is you need to come to this V symbol here. You select media site, you select presentation, and then any of your content, they'll appear in just a second. You then can select any of these settings. I prefer player only because I just want them to see the video. And then that video is also embedded on this page. It displays very nicely. And then I have the opportunity to add any other learning materials that I want for students to see as I'm going through this content. So on a page, you see this Module 2 discussion board. I can actually come in here. I don't want to get too far into playing in Canvas, but I can actually now, I have my videos and I want them to talk about it in this discussion board. I want them to talk about my lecture. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to come over to discussions on the right-hand side, and I'm going to find that discussion board. I don't remember which one it was. I'm going to pick this one. It is now linked in this page. So when a student clicks on it, scroll, it's going to take them directly to that discussion board and they're ready to participate. So just something that's really an advantage for embedding your content onto a page. I also want to talk a little bit about how you can use those videos or Canvas itself to record. In announcements, assignments, discussions, all of those areas, you are going to have the ability to record directly into that area. All right, so I'm in the edit section here of an announcement. I can hit this record and upload media, and it's going to access my content right here, or I can upload a video that I had saved in my files. Either of these right here will then be available in that announcement. It's also very nice if you're doing grading. So let me go to an assignment and show you what you can do there. So we have an assignment here. This is all our online essentials class and the assignments that the instructors turned in. So in your assignment, you have SpeedGrader. So you open up SpeedGrader, and that's where you can show all of the content or whatever students submitted. All right. You can fill in your rubric, you can leave a comment, but you can also see this same video symbol that we saw in the announcement or an audio symbol, and you can embed a quick video right there giving students feedback on their assignment. Really works great for them to be able to understand better what your feedback is. Now, you also have the ability to give other feedback on your page and in the comments and in your rubric, but this is just a nice additional. So maybe you just want to say, you know, hey, you did a really great job on this, but I want you to think more about this section and how you could expand it. Do a quick audio recording, do a quick video, and let them know your thoughts. All right, let me check in and see if we have any questions yet about how Canvas itself works.
We had one question, if you could retrace how you got to SpeedGrader again.
Okay, sure. So when you're in an assignment, whatever you've created, a quiz, any sort of assignment, a discussion that is a graded discussion, on the right-hand side, you'll have several different choices, and SpeedGrader is one of those choices. Okay, so all you have to do is click on SpeedGrader. It will then alphabetically list all of your students' submissions, be it a quiz, be a discussion, anything like that will be right here for you to grade if you've created a rubric. If not, you can just put the points in, leave comments for your students, and like I said, give an attachment, video, or audio feedback. What else?
And then also one question we had is, if you use Zoom Live, do you upload the recording using the Zoom link on Canvas?
No. Okay, great question. So if you are having a live Zoom session, or if you're using Zoom, as a recording tool, you are going to set the recording as downloadable to your computer. Right now, Zoom is having issues with recordings sent to the cloud. There's a large delay. So do your recording to your computer. Once you stop that recording, whether it be your live group and now you're doing a backup for those that weren't able to attend, or your actual lecture capture, that recording will process, and then you will get a set of files. I'm going to grab a set right now to show, what it looks like. Give me just a second. So it will create a Zoom file just like this for you. Oops, not like that. That's the wrong one. Give me a second. Where is one? There, no, that's not what I want. Okay, let me go out this way. I think it's under documents. Yes, okay. So under documents, it's going to create a Zoom folder. You'll then have all of your recordings right there. All right, so this is actually our recording being processed right now. Here's a previous recording I did at 11 a.m. Once it's completed that recording process, you're going to have a series of files. The Zoom 0, because it always starts with Zoom 0, is your MP4 file. That is what you want to take and upload into your course. You can save it as a file as an MP4 file in your files, and then you can place it anywhere you want it to be throughout the course. And again, that would be by going into a page or a module and directly linking that. So I would highly recommend that you change the name from Zoom 0 to whatever the content happens to be. So if you did a live lecture, live group study, something like that, change the name of it to group study session on, 3/25, and then upload it with that name. That answer that question okay?
Yes, I think that covered everything we've got so far for questions, Laura.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let me see what else I had in my presentation itself. Okay, so we talked a little bit about using recording right in Canvas. Anything you do directly in Canvas can't really be edited. So just, know that, certainly still use it, but using an external recording method will be what you would be able to edit and make changes to. But your students can even do videos in the discussions. You can have them record something on their phone and upload it to a discussion. There are lots of different ways. I'm going to get out of my presentation right now, and I'm going to upload both of these links here. There's a video best practices in MediaSite. We are recommending that even if you don't use MediaSite to record your content, you consider going ahead and loading your content to MediaSite and storing it there. The reason for that is that MediaSite has the ability to adjust to the internet frequency of your students. So if one of your students doesn't have very strong internet, MediaSite will still stream those videos. It kind of reduces the quality some so that the internet quality is able to continue to play it. So it's something to consider as a way to both organize your files, keep them all in one place, and help your students with streaming. And then this instructional presence video is one that was created a couple of years ago that kind of talks about different styles of presentations and things that can help you kind of be present in your course content and have your students feel that connection with you. So like I said, I'm gonna stop share for right now. I'm going to grab those links, and Brandon is here. Thank you, Brandon. You provided both of these. So let me pop them in here real quick. And then let's see if we have any other questions.
I don't believe so. You may just touch on, so MediaSite is the preferred option for videos in Canvas, correct?
It is, yeah. The issues that some students have just they're not going to have really high quality internet in a lot of the locations that they're at right now. And so that adjustability of MediaSite really helps. Let's see. Oh, and Brandon provided a resource as well. Okay, now that's that second link. It didn't go properly the first time. So we do recommend that you do that, but do not link it directly into a module, put it into a page. So yeah, if there are any other questions, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can ask them live. You can type them into the chat. Just jump on in. Guest lecturing. Okay, Jason, let's see. You should be able to record their lecture if they are in that Zoom session. Then you simply set record. So you would need to be a host of that session. So you're inviting your guest lecturer, you are inviting all of your students, or it's just you and the lecturer, that's fine. You can go ahead and record that session, upload it the same way you would any other Zoom meeting, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to do that within MediaSite. MediaSite is not a group tool, it is a recording tool. Kimberly, there isn't an issue with MediaSite and Canvas. I may have spoken poorly. The issue is the direct linking a video in the module. That can be sort of complicated by the login process in Canvas. If you embed the video on a page, works fantastically. There are no issues at all. So definitely consider doing that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing live lectures like I do. I'm a mathematician, I do Blackboard lectures. And I remember that you said break it into pieces. So what I could do then, or would it be the right thing to do, to record a piece, then pause, check if they're doing okay, and then record another piece, and then upload all the pieces so that they can watch them one at a time without having the issue of finding in a 50-minute thing where exactly they want to review something.
Exactly. So if you're reviewing several homework problems or something like that.
Well, I would,
Or,
for the
oh,
homeworks, I would do groups, breakout groups in Zoom, but I have to cover the material. They all will have their books, but I have to chew through it for them.
And yeah, so the idea of, whatever that one focused concentration of content that you're wanting to communicate, those places where you might break during your lecture and check in with them and say, do you understand? Do we need to review further? Those kinds of things. That would be where you stop your video, post just that section, and you could even then put some sort of Q&A discussion board in connection with that and say, okay, did everybody understand? Do you have any questions about this? That you could then go back and create another short video that explains it again if they didn't understand, those kinds of things. Does that help?
Sort of. It's insanely overwhelming. I'm not a techie.
I hear you. I understand. This is really a lot for a lot of people, and we understand that. But that also can help you, if you chunk it up, then you don't have to worry about, trying to make the recording all work together seamlessly. You have those shorter things that you can ask for clarification on. Now, one thing that you should be aware of, that if you record sort of that longer length thing, if you already have something, or you really feel that it needs to be longer, consider looking at the tools in MediaSite to do quizzing or polling right within the video itself. You can actually add something into the video at that point. So Marion, you were talking about checking in with them. If you wanted to record longer, you insert that check-in question, did everybody understand, right after that, and everybody has to respond to that before they can move forward in the content.
But I would not do that in the live Zoom.
I mean, you can certainly pause during a live Zoom and check in with everybody, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So Elizabeth, you're saying that at the very basic level, doing voiceover or doing a PowerPoint during Zoom and talking through the PowerPoint, that's certainly a great way to do it. So it's either the voiceover in PowerPoint that's put up as a video, or you just talking through your PowerPoint while you're recording a Zoom session. Any other questions? Yeah, Nora.
You're running your lecture through PowerPoint, you're talking over the PowerPoint, you have at the same time a Zoom session going on so that your students can come in, and you are media site recording to be able to make the lecture available to students that cannot sync at the same time.
Okay, I think you're combining too many things.
Okay.
So if you want to have a live session with your students, you would use Zoom. And right then you could be going through your PowerPoint the same way you would during class, right?
Okay, yes,
that
right.
would be a synchronous session. You can record that synchronous session and then post it for any students that could not make it to that synchronous session.
In Zoom.
Okay. And then but you wouldn't be using MediaSite at the same time. You would just be recording in Zoom. Okay. Once that recording was done, if you want to upload it to Zoom, then they have that adjustable streaming ability. It's an extra step. It's a little bit confusing, but that is really the difference. Does that make sense?
So, excuse me, Laura. So, MediaSite is what's providing the adaptability to different band breadths, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if I get a recording through Zoom, I can then upload it through MediaSite?
Yep. So let me walk you through that real quick since we're talking about it. Let me share my screen. All right, so you have the My Media Site link on your course. If you don't have it, you can come down to settings and you can pull it up into your view, but that's something that students can't see. So you never want to try and click that in. So we've had this Zoom session. I then want to put it into My Media Site. So I go to Add Media, and then I want to upload a file from my computer. And then I go and I find one of those Zoom recordings.
I see. Okay.
And I would open it up, upload it into that, and then it would appear just like any other media site video right there.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Good clarification. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
asking. Oh, let me jump out of that now. Okay. Any other questions?
I know, Laura, that so we received an email from the Dean of Arts and Sciences encouraging us to make video available through MediaSite, not as a Zoom recording.
Okay.
And I know we are combining bits and pieces. Would we be within that recommendation? If we
Yeah, what the recommendation is that streaming ability. So you can use whatever you want to create that original recording, right? We were talking about PowerPoint voiceovers. You convert your PowerPoint with the voiceover to a video, it becomes an MP4 file. You then take that MP4 file, upload it into MediaSite the same way I just showed you, and then everything is right there in MediaSite, streams better for all of the students.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Kimberly, yeah, that would work. Voiceover in PowerPoint, uploaded as a video, then uploaded or converted to a video, then uploaded into MediaSite. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for attending today. I know this is challenging. I know it's overwhelming, but I appreciate the attention you're giving it to helping your students continue their learning and be successful in finishing out this semester. We are definitely available to keep talking through these. If you want to contact us at GCID and you'd like, just someone to walk you through the steps of doing this, we could do a one-on-one Zoom session and you could share your screen. We could walk you through and allow you to do it with us. So please don't hesitate to contact us. We have lots of those drop-in sessions as well over the next couple of days, and we're happy to help you in any way we can. So keep it up, keep working on it, and I'll let Reed wrap us up.
Thank you, Laura. Yes, and thank you to everyone for attending today's training. We hope you found it helpful. And please remember that if you have additional questions, you can send them to gcid@kstate.edu. This email address is being monitored by the Global Campus Instructional Design Team, and all inquiries will be responded to as quickly as possible. You can also contact the IT Help Desk by phone at 785-532-7722 or via email at helpdesk@ksu.edu. And then also please check out the K-State Keep Teaching training sessions page to see if there are any other sessions that will provide helpful information as you transition to remote teaching. And I will go ahead and provide all the links for that information in the chat box if you'd like to access them. So they should be visible for everyone there. Otherwise, thank you for attending.